My husband kept inviting his stepsister to my birthday every year without asking me, so I planned the ultimate revenge. And now he is saying I destroyed our marriage. Every year we'd rent this gorgeous little A-frame cabin up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. It wasn't anything extravagant, but it had a hot tub, a real wood fireplace, and no cell service. It was our sanctuary, or at least I thought it was. Enter his stepsister Sarah. Sarah is one of those people who is perpetually in crisis. There is always a flat tire, a bad breakup, or some dramatic emergency that only Jake can fix. For my 28th birthday, we were packing the car when Jake gave me this pathetic puppy dog look. He said, "Hey, so Sarah's landlord just raised her rent and she is spiraling. Is it cool if she rides up with us just to clear her head?" I took a deep breath and I said fine. It was my birthday, but I didn't want to be heartless. Sarah spent the entire weekend drinking my expensive wine, crying on the couch, and making Jake listen to her complain. He rubbed her back while I sat in the hot tub, completely alone. On the drive home, I told him never again. He swore up and down that it was a one-time thing. Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't. For my 29th birthday, we pull up to the cabin, and whose car is sitting in the driveway? Sarah's. Jake played dumb, acting totally shocked. He said, "Wow, what a crazy coincidence. She must have needed to get away too." I smiled, I unpacked my bags, and I survived the weekend. But on Sunday morning, while he was in the shower, his phone lit up. It was a text from Sarah saying, "Thanks for giving me the gate code. You're a lifesaver." He didn't just let her crash, he invited her. He lied directly to my face, and he watched me pretend everything was fine. I didn't scream. I just felt this cold, hard clarity. I realized he was always going to choose his stepsister's comfort over my happiness. So I had a full year to plan my 30th birthday. When the week finally arrived, Jake was running around the house, throwing his hiking boots and jackets into the trunk of his car. He was whistling, totally oblivious. Then, a familiar silver sedan pulled into our driveway. It was Sarah. She hopped out, carrying 2 massive suitcases, smiling like she owned the place. Jake looked at me, his face turning pale. He started stammering, "Babe, I didn't know she was coming here. I swear she just..." "Stop." I said it so quietly, the word sliced right through the air. I walked down the porch steps, staring dead into his eyes. "Do not lie to me again, Jake. Not today." Sarah started playing the victim, whining, "Oh my God, if I'm ruining things, I can just leave." I turned to her and smiled this calm, chilling smile. "No, Sarah, you're exactly where you belong, with the man who prioritizes you over his own wife." I pulled my single leather weekender bag out of the trunk and threw his keys right at his chest. I booked a single occupancy wellness retreat in Sedona, Arizona, and my flight leaves in exactly 3 hours. Jake panicked. He grabbed my arm, begging, saying we already put the deposit down on the mountain cabin. I pulled my arm away like he was on fire. "Yeah," I whispered, leaning in close so only he could hear. "I paid the balance, so you and your stepsister can have a great weekend." I got into my Uber and left them both standing there, completely speechless in the driveway. I spent my 30th birthday getting deep tissue massages, drinking margaritas by a pool, and not listening to a single word about Sarah. Jake is blowing up my phone saying I destroyed our marriage, but honestly, I've never felt more at peace.